Volunteers found this starving dog wandering around a train station. Nobody expected that when he felt real care for the very first time, he wouldn't be able to hold back his emotions. And this whole story started with just this simple photo. Blake and Dane first saw a picture of this dog online. He looked extremely skinny, and you could just see the fear and anxiety in his eyes. Volunteers had discovered him at a train station in Spain, but nobody really knew what he'd been through. Even though they had their doubts, Blake and Dane decided they wanted to give this dog a new home. After an 8-hour flight, the couple met the dog for the first time at the New York airport and were stunned by how poor his condition actually was. When they brought him home, it quickly became clear that he was even skinnier and weaker than he looked in the photos. The couple decided to name him Mango. Almost immediately, they noticed how far Mango was from a typical domestic life. He wasn't even prepared to do basic things like climb the stairs, so Blake and Diane carried him up and down for the first few days. Seeing Mango so afraid to take even a single step, they knew right away that his adjustment would be long and difficult. During those first weeks at home, Mango mostly slept.
Hi, your ears are broken. Okay.
As if he was trying to recover from the stress he'd endured. Blake and Diane realized how tough it was for him to adapt, so they decided to get help from a professional trainer. This started a long process of teaching Mango even the most basic skills.
Mango, speak.
It was during this time that Blake and Diane saw just how incredibly gentle and sensitive their dog was. A side of him previously hidden behind his fear and uncertainty. Little by little, Mango got fully comfortable in his new home and started showing his true personality.
Do you want dinner? Okay, come on, let's go.
He turned out to be extremely affectionate and followed Blake and Diane around everywhere. The couple noticed that Mango was exceptionally good at sensing people's moods. He immediately knew who he could approach comfortably and who he needed to be more cautious with. He also surprised them with some unusual habits, standing gracefully like a ballet dancer or curling himself into a surprisingly small ball on the couch. But Mango showed his most amazing ability a little later when the couple faced the toughest period of their lives. Soon afterward, Blake and Diane went through a very difficult time. They lost 5 close family members in a short span. And while they struggled through their grief, Mango began showing extraordinary compassion and care. It was like he sensed their pain and made sure he was always close by during their hardest moments. He would quietly approach Blake or Diane, gently lay his head on their lap, and just stay right there to reassure them that they weren't alone. It was in those moments that the couple fully realized just how deep and strong their emotional bond with Mango had become. After making it through this challenging period, Blake and Diane fully understood just how much Mango had done for them. Because of him, they found a way to cope with their pain and felt supported exactly when they needed it most. The couple made a promise to themselves and to Mango that no matter what happened, they would always protect and care for him, just like he had supported them. Mingo was no longer just a pet for Blake and Diane. He had become a true member of their family, someone they simply couldn't imagine their lives without.